Anyone here like love songs? Hey, all right, right on. I've done a lot of youth groups in the past, and you'd be surprised how many of these kids are like afraid to put up their hands to admit that they like love songs. They kind of like stiffen up and they look down the row with their friends and they kind of look down the other way and then slowly sneak up their hand to acknowledge that they are actually listening to me and not just playing games on their cell phones the whole time. Which has happened, by the way. I was doing this one concert, and there was probably about 40 kids in this youth group. And I had some lights on me, and it was dark in the room, but I knew what was going on because all I could see when I looked out was this glow. And so I'm like, okay, I know what's going on, but I'm not going to let it bother me. Except there's this one girl, and she's sitting right in the front row. And, I knew what was going on because I could see her. Like, it was dark in the room, but I could still see her. She had this glow on her face. And she had two friends that were on either side that were looking in at her as she was playing this game that she was playing. And she wasn't just kind of like lazily texting a friend or something like that. She was like manically playing this game, whatever it was. And she was just playing it like a maniac playing this thing. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm just going to do my concert and I'm not going to worry about it. And I get to the point in my concert where I'm telling one of my really serious stories. And right in the middle of one of my really serious stories, she's sitting there, I've been playing the game the whole time through the concert, but she's sitting there playing like a maniac. And all of a sudden, in one of my really serious stories, she's just like, oh, yes! Big epic fist pump and everything. She's like, yes! And so I got a little frustrated, and I looked down and I'm like, the Angry Birds treating you good, are they? Yeah, you fling your little birdies, knock the piggies off the towers, get a high score, 3 stars, great job! I felt a little bad. She looked up at me with this like deer in the headlights look, like, I can't believe you caught me, you're in the front row! Come on! And the two friends that were sitting next to her and looking at her as she was playing and like encouraging her along the way, they kind of turned on her at that point and started laughing at her, but it wasn't like a little hee, it was like and so, she got it in stereo and I did feel bad. But, the girls, she was playing games in the front row, the girl had it coming. So I did apologize to her afterwards, but it's like they put up their hands just a little bit to acknowledge that they're actually listening to me and not just playing games on their cell phone the whole time. It's like they're afraid to put up their hands and admit that they like love songs. They think that the youth pastor is going to like come swooping down from the balcony and swat them in the back of the head for liking love songs. I don't know if that's so much the case, because 1, there's no balcony, and 2, I don't think Pastor Joe's doing any swooping today.
No swooping. No swooping.
No swooping, so we're good. It's okay to admit that we like love songs. I like love songs. I've got a few love songs that I've written for my wife, and you can actually get some of these love songs on some CDs that I have on a very conveniently located table at the back. You may have seen when you came in, you may see when you go out, but it's there. I have some love songs that I've written for my wife, Samantha, and it really does show me God's sense of humor, because my wife's name is Samantha, so if you think about it, my wife's name is Sam, and I look like a specific Lord of the Rings character. Then we'll forever be known as Frodo and Sam, which is God's sense of humor. But I've got some love songs that I've written for my wife, Sam, and this is one that I want to share with you off of my new CD. The new CD that I have is called I Won't Let Go, and I released it just in September of this year. And it's a love song that I wrote in answer to a question that we as guys get asked very often, and we really don't understand why. And that's the question, honey, do you love me? We don't get it. We're simple, we guys, we can only process certain things at certain times, and this is just one of those questions that kind of throws us off a little bit, because it's like, well, yes, honey, I love you, but I loved you 5 minutes ago when you asked me, and in 10 minutes when you ask me again, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna love you. So this is a song that I wrote in answer to the question, how much do you love me, so that she never has to ask me again. Yeah, so all she has to do is when she comes up to me and says, how much do you love me? I'll be like, wait. Doesn't go over the way that I think it should, but that's okay. Either way, this is a song that I'd like to share with you, and it's a very, very sappy love song. I'm going to warn you guys, I'm kind of a sap and a little bit of a cheese ball. So you have been warned, but this is a song that I wrote for Sam. In answer to the question, how much do you love me? And this is a song called She.